Shalom. And I want to start off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachach Chodesh. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you, Akim, that's out there listening, pushing forward this word with truth and sincerity, and your few Aquath as well, that's listening with sincerity. I'm the brother Machaya from the camp, JMS Montreal, coming back with another lesson. And it's going to be referring to the vehicles of our salvation, which is none other than the chariots of Israel. Okay, as the world ignorantly calls them UAPs, UFOs, but truly their true names are the chariots of the Lord, man, the vehicles of our salvation. Okay, which I'm going to play this short clip real quick that, one of the brothers sent to the chat of the brothers down there in Chicago. They had a fleet of chariots that they saw and they videotaped it, man. I'm gonna play it quickly, get a few precepts and let's go.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh man, bro.
Yeah, this was Saturday.
Let's go!
Yeah, man. Yeah, those are the vehicles of our salvation right there, man. If you're a spiritual man, you can understand that, hey, those are our vehicles. You gotta be spiritual, man. You gotta be spiritual to believe in this thing of ours, man. Because if you're carnal, you could look at this video, oh, this AI. Or say, oh, it's just the stars, man. Yeah, I'm saying? Make any excuse to not believe what it truly is. That's why, a spiritual man, let's get that quickly, judgeth all things, man. You gotta be spiritual, bro. Okay? This is 1 Corinthians 2 and verse 15. It says, but he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. So, say we're spiritual and we judge all things, man. Clearly, you can clearly see those vehicles were moving, man. They're moving. Okay, those are not stars. Look how they're in a row. You know what I'm saying? Those are the vehicles of our salvation, man. And, these little clips right there is faith boosters, man. Knowing that the Lord is there. He's present, man. Okay? The Lord makes, these little things happen so that, our faith may be boosted. Okay? Tells the angel, show yourselves to the brothers. Make sure, they videotaped it so the body may be edified by this and get a little faith booster. You know what I mean? It might be small, but hey, it's still a faith booster, man. Okay. Okay, let's get this in Isaiah, where it speaks about as birds flying. Let's get that quickly. Isaiah 31 and verse 5, it says, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Yeah, man. The Lord is going to come back in a, bird-like formation, right? Whenever he's seeing birds, whenever they migrate, there's always someone, not someone, but a bird that's leading the pack, and they're like in a V formation, migrating to wherever they need to go. If it's like winter's coming, or I don't know, they sense a storm or whatnot, they travel, right? They travel like in a V-shape, format, in lack of better words, formation, a V-like formation. So, hey, that's how the Lord's coming back, man. He's coming back in that big fathership or mothership, you may say, right? With all the thousands of heaven behind him, man. And that there, right there, we kind of saw formation. It was a straight line, right, of the chariots showing themselves. Hey, the Lord's gonna invade the earth, man. Yo, sometimes you ponder upon these things, how it's gonna be like. It's like, yo, shit, man. Words can only describe, man. Right? Words can only describe. When it happens, man, hey, brothers are gonna be, it's gonna be a beautiful thing to behold, man. Being beamed up, getting delivered from this hellhole, man. Abaratas, I will be of the elect. Abaratas, I be of the elect. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a beautiful sight to behold, man. Okay, because we haven't seen, as brothers, truly, we haven't seen a chariot really up close like that, man. You know what I mean? We haven't seen it up close. Really, we just get these clips, from afar. You see the move in outer space. Imagine seeing a chariot up close. Come on, bro. Up close? Like, as if, like, let's say, how you can see a plane in the sky? Like in that proximity. Even that within itself is like, yo, what? Because we always see them from afar. Imagine seeing that in that proximity, like a plane. Bro, it's going to be different, man. Really different. And once again, those are the chariots of our salvation, man. The chariots of Israel, like Elisha said when he saw Elijah getting beamed up. Let's get that quickly. Chariots. Okay. Let me see. Bear with me for a minute. Okay. Pretty sure he said like Abba. I think he said, is it Abba or Father? Let me write Abba. Damn. We must get that. Okay. Okay. There we go. Yeah, he said my father, yeah, there we go. So this is 2 Kings 2. So this is when Elijah got beamed up and Elisha witnessed this, his master being taken up in the heavens, via a chariot. He witnessed it, and the account was written for us to read it today, and learn from this. Okay. So let's read this. And it makes me think too, and when we exited out of Egypt, with that cloud, that was over us, giving us a shadow by day and a light by night. Hey, that must have been different, bro. Okay, because once again, man, we never seen a chariot really up close like that, man. So you can only imagine how it was like, when we exited out of Egypt. And even then, Jake was still being rebellious, bro. Imagine that, man. A vehicle that's out of this realm. Here this is protecting you. Yet Jake was still bad-mouthing, talking shit. And anyways, man, that's the rebelliousness, the stiff-hearted neck of our people, man. Unappreciative, man. It just got me thinking, just seeing a chariot up close, bro. The seeing the material. Yeah, it's different. But let's read this, man. Let's read this. This is 2 Kings 2. In verse, to be honest, I'm going to go to the point. You know what? I'm going to start at verse 8, but the point is really down at verse 12. But we're going to build it up a little bit. This is 2 Kings 2 and verse 8. It says, And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters. And they were divided hither and thither. So they too went over the dry ground. Okay, this is so Elijah, using the spiritual power, right? He parted the water so that they may walk over. And just like Moses did, right? He did the same thing. Let's continue. Verse 9, it says, "And it came to pass when they were gone over, that Elijah said to Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee." Because he knew that he was going to be taken up. So, basically he's asking him, what blessing do you want? What do you mean to bless you with? Okay. "Ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee." And Elisha said, "I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me." So he asked for a double portion of Elijah's spirit, and indeed he did receive a double portion, man. Okay, Elisha. It says, verse 10, "And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so." So basically the sign that he gave him is like, yo, if you see me being taken up, then hey, you're gonna receive that double portion of my spirit. But if you don't, then it's not gonna happen. Right? Which he did get to see his master get beamed up, man, get taken up. Verse 11, "And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire." Yeah, one of these vehicles that the brothers saw, man. You know what I'm saying? But up close. Okay, it wasn't far like that. It was up close. It was up close, man. It wasn't as far. It was up close. He witnessed it. He beheld it, man. Okay, it says, "And there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder." So that beam came down, boom, and just separated them both. Okay, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. He got beamed up, man. Okay, just like you see within these different sci-fi movies that Esau depicts aliens coming and abducting people. Hey, it was in like fashion, because these things he sort of just came and thought about it out of nowhere. A lot of these movies, with the ideas that Esau has, that he puts in these movies, he gets it from the scriptures, man. Okay, these things of aliens being up people, that's from the scriptures. Here it is, we're reading it. Okay, Elijah got abducted, and he went into the heavens, man. And Elijah witnessed that he got parted asunder. Okay, it goes on and says, "And Elijah saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariots of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them into pieces." Yeah, the reason he did that, because he understood that he's not going to see Elijah no more. Basically, Elijah, he passed on. Okay, Elijah passed on, man. He didn't have a normal passing on, referring to death, because he basically died. He witnesses his master die right in front of him. That's what it was. He didn't die in the sense of he just fell asleep and then his spirit went up, but it actually happened to where that he got translated. Okay, just like we're gonna be translated too. Okay, because Yahushua did say that there be some standing here that shall not taste of death. In like fashion, we're gonna be translated like Elijah. Our Baratas once again will be of the elect, man. So that was the point here. My father, the chariots of Israel, man. Just like those brothers were praising. You know what I'm saying man. Hey, when we see the Lord coming back, we're gonna be praising him too, man. Crying our lungs out. Yo, deliver me, That's what it's gonna be like, because it's gonna be like scriptures say, the elect shall scarcely be saved. As the Lord comes back, the missile is going to be hitting ground zero simultaneously, man. It's going to be a ball of mixed emotions that the elect's going to be feeling, man. We're going to be joyful, but at the same time shook. We're going to be shook too, Because if you don't get beamed up, if your feet is not elevating from the ground, man, shit. You know, if your feet is not elevating before, you know, the area that you're at gets hit, hey, most likely, it's not most likely, you're not of the elect. Because, you know, the elect's not going to be on the soils of the earth when that destruction is happening. You know, one warhead might hit another area, and then, you know, you feel the vibration a little bit, you know, before it hits you. But, you know, the Lord's going to save you at the nick of time, man. That's why it's going to be very important for you to hold your integrity and hold that faith, man, and trust that, yo, the Lord's going to deliver me. And not doubt. And start cursing out the Lord and shit, you know? Because the Lord always pulls through at the last second, man. You know? Clutch performer. Okay? But yeah, man, that's the vehicles of our salvation. The chariots of Israel, that ball of fire, that Elisha saw. Yeah, I mean, that's going to deliver us and defend us. Like we read in Isaiah 31 and verse 5. Okay, and multiple prophets, they describe the chariots in different ways. Sometimes as a cloud or as a roll. Ezekiel speaks about him seeing a flying roll. Okay? You know, there's different ways or different terms that the scriptures refer to the chariots like, man. Okay, even Ezra, he described it as a cloud. No, as a mountain, actually. Salakia. The prophet Ezra, he described the chariot as a mountain. So sometimes could be referred to as a mountain. He flew up on a great mountain because, hey, the ship that our Lord Yahushua is going to come in, it's going to be a gigantic ship. To give you a visual representation, think about Independence Day. Right, when that big-ass ship came in Independence Day, well, Yahushua's ship's going to be way bigger than that because Ezra, when he saw it, he said he could see the end thereof. Can you imagine that, bro? You can't see the end of the ship? Damn, bro. And the chariots, they could do that. You know, they could go big, they could go small, right? They could do things beyond the capabilities of the vehicles we've seen and witnessed now. Okay, because those vehicles, they're spiritual. Okay, let's get that in Isaiah. They're spiritual, man. They're celestial vehicles. So of course, they're gonna work and defy the laws of physics, defy the laws of gravity, things of that nature, because they're spiritual vehicles, man. Ezekiel described it. And Ezekiel, the first chapter, you know, how that the angels are in sync with the chariot. Wherever they want to go, the chariot goes with them. It's like, yo, come on, bro. You know, when I read that, it makes me think of the movie Avatar. Right? Whenever they would ride those flying beasts, and they would have to connect their hair, whatever, to the hair of the beast that they're flying, and they're like they're one. They become as one, and then they start flying, man. Right, so that's why it's like when the angels, they're riding on the chariot, it's like they're at one with the chariot, because the chariot is spiritual. It's literally living, you know. Well, these cars here, they're flesh. You know, your car is not living. It needs gas and shit, bro. The chariots don't need gas. They just work off of the spirit, man. You know? Yo, man, the Lord is out there, man. Our power is out there, bro. That's the power that we serve, man. Man. Hey, let's read this, man. Isaiah 31 and verse 3 says, "Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horses flesh and not spirit." Right? The vehicles that Esau has, or that the vehicles that we see now, they're flesh, they're not spirit. Once again, they need gas, they need to be maintained. You know, a few years goes by, your transmission blows, your starter breaks, you gotta switch your routers, this, that, the third. A whole lot of problems. But with the chariots, that doesn't happen. Okay, you don't see a chariot who crashes, or you see the chariot angel. In the spirit world, there's a spiritual gas station. There's an angel. His lot is strictly to be a mechanic for the chariots. Like, come on, bro. That doesn't happen. Okay, does not happen, man. The spirit. All right. Can you imagine that? An angel in the heavens, his lot is strictly to be a mechanic. You know. Anyways, it says, when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they shall fail altogether. But the point is, really the first part, man. Of the Egyptians being men and not God, and their horses, flesh and not spirit. But the horses of the Lord, their spirit, they're living, man. Okay? And that's the vehicles that's going to come and beam us up, man, and take us out from this hellhole, man. Okay? But anyways, man, I'm going to close it off there, man. All right? By giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachech, Chodesh. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying.